Now, Lowcountry Forever, a public affairs presentation of the Charleston Radio Group.
It is that time of year when October rolls around. We think of certain things, high school football, college football, and the Coastal Carolina Fair, which is our subject today on Lowcountry Forever. I'm Brian Cleary, joined by the chairman of media services and public relations for the Exchange Club of Charleston and the Coastal Carolina Fair. Gary Leonard joins us. Gary, let me just get right to it. The most important thing for this year's fair, what do you know about the cookie-dipped turkey legs?
Well, I've only heard about it. I've not had a chance to eat one since it'll be the first time we know that it's been in South Carolina. And what I hear, though, is glowing reports. It's something you got to try. Of course, now I'm not a big turkey leg fan. I mostly like that breast with some gravy over it.
Well, that's it. Take one for the team. We're all going to jump in. I'm just intrigued by the cookie-dipped turkey leg.
The interesting thing, if it's chocolate, won't be a hesitancy for me on it.
Nice. I'm with you all the way there. Right. Food, just a part of the Coastal Carolina Fair that's going to kick off October 27th. Before the fair happens, there's actually an event that the Exchange Club's going on, which is really what the fair is all about. Talk to me a little bit about what you're doing.
Brian, as you well know, but many of our members in the Lowcountry don't often realize, the fair is the generating of funds for us to do things for the Tri-County area. And we're focusing on nonprofits. We have a grant fund, which is competitive based, and we ask for submissions of that. And what we look for is we go through and then try to match up our dollars with what the nonprofit wants to deal with. So we've done everything from work with homeless veterans to Habitat for Humanity to the American Red Cross, Meals on Wheels, you name it. There's some way that we've either worked with youth, our veterans, our police officers, firemen, first responders, our communities, and also supporting families. And our number one extra program we have, and that's the prevention of child abuse. And so all those folks are things that we contribute towards, making Charleston, Berkeley, and Dorchester a better place to live, work, and learn.
Amen. The Exchange Club is all about that. The fair is a big part of it. Now, over the years, and you guys don't always brag on this as maybe you should, but we need to do it because you guys have tossed out literally millions of dollars. That's
correct, Brian. I think we're probably getting close to about 11 million right now. And for 1 year, we didn't have a fair.
Right.
But we went into our treasury and pulled out $200,000 and gave back to the community. And this year, we're looking to probably get about $230,000 with an impact of about $250,000. And that's off the revenues of last year's fair. So when the fair starts in October on the 27th, a week prior to that, which is next Thursday, is that we'll recognize 63 nonprofits are getting grants. And that's what we're all about.
And so everybody catches that number. 63 nonprofits here in our area benefit from the Coastal Carolina Fair.
That's correct. That's correct.
Just amazing. And to go a step further as well, for folks who don't realize it, the Exchange Club of Charleston, so many of those people that you see on the fairgrounds at Exchange Park, they're all volunteering when they help the fair.
You're exactly right, Brian. We're about 235 members strong now. And those 235 members roughly worked about almost 13,000 hours. And that's the logged in hours. There are many other people like myself right now, but I'm just small matter compared to some of these guys who do a couple hundred hours. And we've got a lot of guys who do a couple hundred hours, 100 plus. And many of those have jobs and they see this way of getting back to their community, but also their family. Nothing more important to have one of your family members that's an adult show you how to improve your community. And that's what we believe. Volunteerism makes a difference.
Absolutely. It's an amazing thing. I think I'm at the fair a lot, but I see guys, they take a week off of their job so they can volunteer to help the fair.
That's exactly right. And some of those people have some very responsible, they're using that time away from work, but also away directly from their family. Right. You might not see them, until the next morning.
We are talking about the Coastal Carolina Fair today on Lowcountry Forever. I'm Brian Cleary, joined by Gary Leonard with the Exchange Club of Charleston. So let's talk about this year's fair, Gary. We're going to kick off October 27th. Tell me something new and exciting that I'm going to look forward to, because every year there's something new and different at the fair.
One of the things I think is probably a major change, and also I think something that many folks would be really appreciative of. We have been working with a previous group of carnival amusement companies. And this year, we're bringing in a new company called Reichhofer. And Reichhofer is one of the major players in the midway events and business. And they're bringing in some new rides to us, a giant Ferris wheel, long slides. The other thing that you're seeing is now a lot more lights and attraction and music besides what we've had in the past. So it's got a little bit more of that glamour to it. And I think that's going to make a really good experience for, many of our folks. We're still going to have 2 kiddie lands and also the major midway. And the midways will be laid out to be able to have some of those spectacular rides, a little bit more room because they're bigger. The giant Ferris wheel is huge. You'll see that at the very back of the midway. I think people would be very, pleased with the new rides we have, from Reithofer.
And for anybody who's concerned, because sometimes you see things on 2020 or whatever about ride safety, I know that you guys have a level of ride safety that goes above and beyond what you legally have to do. That's an important part of the fair.
Oh, you most definitely. And just very quickly, the state of South Carolina has a group that comes in and inspects. They're state employees of ride. So when you first set up a new ride in South Carolina, they're there to check it out. Then after that, what we also have is the fairgrounds has contracted with a private company to do inspections. Prior to the opening of the fair, they might have 6 or 8, gentlemen there to work and inspect rides. And as the fair goes on, might be down to 4 or 5 on that. And their sole job is safety. If they say, we need this ride shut down, we're not going to argue with them because the safety of our patrons is number 1. And number 2, the company that also is producing the rides, they know that they don't want to have to also deal with those issues. But also every major ride group we've ever worked with, they have their own crew that inspect them too. So right there is 3 levels. We have a couple of gentlemen in Exchange Club who have been through the school from IAFE, which is an international, group, and they're well aware of issues. And then every operator has to also check out their ride before it starts. That's one of the things when we were looking at a new contractor, a new vendor, is we were looking at their safety records and the reputation they had in the business. So we all know some things can happen, accidents, but we've done the best we can to try to prevent those things that we're knowledgeable about and can be aware of.
And speaking of rides, there's another kind of ride that goes on at the Coastal Carolina Fair. We got some bull riding coming in for a couple of nights again this year.
That's right. We're going to have 4 nights of the rodeo, bull riding, bronc riding, and barrel racing. So we're coming back to almost that total concept of a rodeo. And so we're looking forward to that. I think all of our patrons enjoyed it. They come in there and sit in those stands and they're packed. And they're seeing some mighty brave young men and women do some things that I don't think, Brian, you and I would have done when we were 18 or 21.
Amen to that. But yeah, get to the rodeo area early because those seats fill up fast. It's always 4 exciting nights. So we've got that going on. You've got the Parkway stage. And of course, all this entertainment is free with your fair admission.
We have several stages that are set up around the fairgrounds. That lakefront stage where you have the major entertainment.
Right.
So you're going to have some major, country western stars. And thanks to 92.5, I believe y'all are sponsoring one of those nights.
Absolutely, yes. That'll be the Roots Boots Show, which will be on Saturday, October 29th. We got the Cajun guy, Sammy Kershaw, and also Colin Ray, 2 guys between them that had almost 25 top 10 hits in the 90s. So it's going to be a night of songs that you'll know and sing along with. It's going to be great.
But of course, when I saw that, recognizing both of them, my many years of listening to country western music, I kind of figured out which one was Boots and which one was Roots. And my daughter from Wilmington said that's the one thing that she was going to try and get away with and bring our grandsons down to see the fairs and be able to see Sammy Kershaw. That's one of her favorites.
It's going to be a great night. And then that's just one of the nights. You've got entertainment on the lakefront stage every night.
And I understand that there's going to be some new novel groups that are local. And I'm not quite ready to release some of that, but I think some people in the gospel area and music that has some ethnic, backgrounds to it, they'll be very enjoyable. Besides all the local talent we have, school talent also is a major part of that. We're very fortunate in the Tri-County area to have some great middle school and high school performing groups, and that's always something to enjoy.
It's all being showcased at this year's Coastal Carolina Fair, Exchange Park in Ladson. That'll start on Thursday, October 27th, run through Sunday, November the 6th. In there, Gary, we'll look forward to, there's always the Hispanic Latino Day, you've got a Senior Day, all those things coming back this year.
That's exactly right. We're very appreciative of all the people that support us, and the last couple of years, we added some Latino nights, and that community has really come out and supported us. And we really appreciate it. We've come back and be able to offer them the type of entertainment they really will enjoy. So the Latin community is very important to the Tri-County area, like all of our groups. But that's one that's a little bit newer to our area.
And as I'm walking around, making the circle around the Exchange Park, lots of food booths. And again, a lot of those are community-supported people that come in.
What we're starting to see, though, Ryan, is the community groups are not there as much as they used to be. I hate to say it, but a lot of us are aging out of that volunteerism. And it takes a lot of work to run some yes, we do still have some locals with that, and we want to support them. But like everything else, it takes a lot of hours. And where you make your money is on the weekends, and that's when you've got the biggest draw we have. We really want people to come out during the week. They're going to come out that weekend, get there as early as you can because traffic gets heavy as the night goes on.
But you make a great point because on a Wednesday night, you're still got that same quality entertainment on the stage. Maybe you're going to rides. Lines might be a little shorter. Food lines might be a little shorter. Maybe even a more enjoyable experience.
You can get in there at opening time, basically during the weeks at 3 o'clock. Then you go at 10 o'clock on Saturday. And then on Sunday, we start at noon. So there's plenty of time, plenty of daylight hours for you to get out there. In all honesty, probably a couple hours during the week, you'll be able to get more rides in than you might on a Saturday or Sunday in the afternoon and the evening. That's the thing for families to do is become familiar with that, get out there ahead of the traffic and all the other people trying to rush out there.
And if somebody's looking forward to the fair, and I know they are, we can get our advance tickets and wristbands and stuff right now.
Right now, we're very fortunate to have with Circle K a great partnership. You can go at coastalcarolinafair.org and you can order tickets for our youth, 6 to 12, and for our adults 13 on. And you can do that also at Circle K. So coastalcarolinafair.org and Circle K are the places you can actually pick the best deals up. Do not buy them off of Facebook or somebody in the parking lot. I think we all understand that. That's important for people to realize. You don't want to waste your money that way.
And one of the things about the fair that you come back to, the price of everything going through the roof. You're going to a concert. Ticket prices have gone way, way up. Not the case with the Coastal Carolina Fair admission.
For gate entry, depending on your age, you're going to be able to save about $30-some for a family of four if you get out there and do the right things at the right time, besides getting more entertainment value during the time that you're there. By going to those Circle K and Coastal Carolina Fair, they're right there. So coastalcarolinafair.org online, Circle K, you go into those stores. You do all that, though, before October 27th at 12:01 a.m. because that advanced price sale goes down then. Not only do you that, but you'll save some time at the gate. So if you buy either one of them online from us or at Circle K, you will save time. We'll also have enough places where you can buy tickets to the kiosk, besides going to one of the numerous booths we have. And you can also do it online while you're waiting in line because we'll be able to look at that QR code on there and click it off and get you on in.
And there's a lot of people that assist in the Coastal Carolina Fair.
Yes. Our premier sponsor is WCSC, Live 5 News, Channel 5, which are there. McElveen has been a big one. I understand Baker Motors is coming in at a higher level this year. But when you go online to coastalcarolinafair.org, you will be able to get all the information you need on the sponsors and also when acts are performing, the prices. There's a new thing coming out, Brian, and it's a kind of a map me. Let me know where the fair is. Going on a QR code, you're going to be able to pull up all of the locations. So if you're looking for a bathroom near you, you'll find it. If you're looking for a turkey leg, you're going to know where to find it. You'll know which stage they are. And if that performer is performing that night, you can click on his picture and it'll tell you what day and night they're coming.
Wow, that's awesome. The Coastal Carolina Fair is technologically smart now.
Well, put it this way. We're not as dumb as we used to be, but we're getting smarter.
So at the bottom line is come out, have a great time, bring your family, but know that by doing so, by having that turkey leg and cookie dough and all that stuff, you're actually helping the community. Millions
of dollars have come back with that, besides just, good quality family fun entertainment. But that goes directly to nonprofits. And they meet the needs of the people that are participating in their program, their patrons, their patients, whatever you would like to determine that person in need. They're getting some help from that group with our funds.
So, Gary, give me the best tip for anybody coming to the Coastal Carolina Fair.
Buy your tickets early, come early, get ahead of the game. And by using the map me, function on your cell phone, it might be too big to carry your iPad, but I guess you can. You can be able to find everything that's going on. Oh, I also want to mention our beer garden is expanding. We're going to have entertainment there every night. So I think you're going to see still a real good place for families to go and eat and have a beverage of their age and appropriate. So you've got a lot of things there for families to really do. And we haven't even talked about the arts and crafts or the visual arts. You can see some outstanding photography, paintings from high school students, a wide variety of entertainment in that. The flower show is nationally recognized. It's one of the ones that allow you to qualify for national events in the flower competition.
And so much of those things, whether it's the photos, the flowers, or whatever, those are local folks who are doing
those. Are all local folks, and so we're very proud of what they're able to contribute to our fair. And we're not even talking yet also about some of the vendors that bring in leather goods and a variety of things that people really are, have value to. And our commercial or business area, we're really focusing on the local businesses. So if you're interested in buying something, go through there and check out the commercial exhibits.
It's a local event. It's put on by local people, local volunteers, and in the end, raises hundreds of thousands of dollars to help local charities. That's what the Exchange Club of Charleston does. The Exchange Club of Charleston puts on the Coastal Carolina Fair at Exchange Park in Ladson. It's coming up October 27th through November 6th. And again, you can save by buying your tickets in advance at local participating Circle K locations and also online at carolinafair.org. Gary Leonard, the chairman of Media Services and Public Relations for the Coastal Carolina Fair, and our guest today on Lowcountry Forever.
It's time for Lovello. Come out for a big block party on Isle of Palms November 5th, and you can choose how you want to participate in one of 4 scenic cycling routes, stationary classes, virtually, or as a volunteer. Regardless, you won't want to miss the party and the entertainment. Best of all, we'll be celebrating our cancer survivors and the researchers trying to end cancer. This annual event raises money for the innovative and life-saving cancer research at MUSC Hollings Cancer Center. Visit lovello.org to register and help us cure cancer together. Join the movement to end breast cancer. Support the American Cancer Society's Making Strides Against Breast Cancer event, Sunday, October 30th at North Charleston's Riverfront Park. You'll be helping save lives through groundbreaking research discovery. Plus, you'll assist in providing patients, families, and caregivers with access to a 24/7 helpline for answers and support. Help those dealing with cancer when and where it's needed most. Join the movement today at makingstrideswalk.org/Charleston SC.
The Charleston Radio Group is the Lowcountry. Every week, we highlight local organizations and events that are helping to make a difference here where we live. If you have a group, event, or an idea to feature on Lowcountry Forever, let us know. Visit lowcountryforever.com and click on our podcast link for contact information. Now, Lowcountry Forever continues.
It's that oyster roast time of the year, and there's a lot of options, but one oyster roast that you want to be a part of later on this month. It's our subject today on Lowcountry Forever. I'm Brian Cleary, joined by Lynn Bowley. She is the Executive Director of Charleston Habitat for Humanity. Lynn, thanks so much for taking the time to join us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You guys know oyster roasts. It's not your first rodeo, so we've got a shucking good time coming up. Tell me the info on the Charleston Habitat for Humanity oyster roast.
It's going to be on Sunday, the 23rd of October from 1 to 5 out at beautiful Founders Hall. Tickets are $60. If you buy them in advance, they're $70 at the door, but we came real close to selling out last year, so you want to go ahead and get those tickets in advance. You can get them on our website, which is charlestonhabitat.org.
And not only will you have amazing oysters and stuff and a good time for the whole family, live music as well is going to be a part of this year's event?
Oh, absolutely. We have a fantastic live band, 2 3-ways. They play the best music, fun to sing along to, fun to tap your feet to while you're eating those oysters, and all-you-can-eat barbecue. Each ticket comes with 2 tokens for 2 beers or 2 sodas, and then we'll have more available for purchase.
And it all is to benefit the Charleston Habitat for Humanity, an amazing mission that I think everybody is aware of what you guys do, but maybe not so much how you do it. So, Lynn, let's take a couple of minutes and educate people. It's not that you just go, hey, that looks like a nice person there. Let's build them a house. The process is a little bit more than that. And for you guys, it starts with the challenge even of just finding a place to put a home.
The biggest challenge these days is finding affordable land. So when we build our homes, we sell them to families who earn between 35 and 60% of the area median income. And that means that we can't pass on any additional land costs once we build the house. So we sell it at a zero-interest mortgage. So while the average rent for a 1-bedroom apartment in Charleston is between $1,500 and $1,600, a Charleston Habitat mortgage is between $500 or $600.
And in this real estate time that we're in now, anybody who owns a home is going, yes, I could put this up, and in 24, 36 hours, the best price. Heck, I'm going to get more than I'm asking for. Great for homeowners. But obviously, or I would suspect, that that's created a little bit of a challenge for an organization like Habitat.
Well, it has. It's certainly made people look a little bit harder at investment properties. So, people are jumping on the bandwagon to buy properties to rent because people can't find places to rent that are affordable. So We've seen a lot of LLCs and other conglomerates coming in and buying up properties and flipping them around to rent.
We're talking with Lynn Bowley. She is the Executive Director of Charleston Habitat for Humanity. Mark this on your calendar now. Sunday, October 23rd, their third annual Oyster Roast to benefit Charleston Habitat for Humanity. And when we talk about Habitat for Humanity, one of the things that I love about the way you guys work, and maybe you can go into a little more depth on this, Lynn, is the fact that the family that gets the home, they invest in that home and they give back to Habitat for Humanity. They've got to help out. And these people really tend to be some outstanding folks that you're assisting.
Our mission is not to provide everyone with an affordable home. We are looking for those folks who are poised for home ownership but are just held back by the fact that they just can't make enough money paycheck to paycheck to put away that savings. And folks in our demographic, that 35 to 60% area median income, they don't qualify for traditional mortgages through banks or other lending institutions. So when we open our application process, which is happening the first 2 weeks of November, so please reach out to us, we will assess all of those applications and come up with our next couple of homeowners to enter into the program. Each homeowner will provide 400, we call them sweat equity hours, where they volunteer with us in our Restore at 731 Meeting Street, and then eventually transition to working on houses of the people who are in front of them in the program, and then on to volunteering on their own house with the construction, and the people who are coming behind them in the program will be helping them build their house.
And it's great for people who either give money or somehow donate to Habitat for Humanity, I think, to know that the folks that they are helping, not only do they appreciate and get a new home and all that, but these folks are giving back as well. And as we talk to those kind of people, Lynn, what needs does Habitat have? What is it that I could do to assist your organization?
We appreciate support in every possible way. We can't do what we do. We can't build our homes without the volunteers who come out Wednesday through Saturday. No experience is required. You just come out and are well-versed and incredibly able. Construction team will...
And if I can say, if I don't mean to interrupt, but I think patient is the word as well, because that's the thing. I think a lot of people think, well, I'm not a carpenter. I can't come out and help. But my wife would be the first one to tell you my abilities in construction are lacking. But I've been on home builds, and the folks that are assisting in that way, they're knowledgeable, but they're patient as well, because they brought me along, and I think they do that with everyone who comes out.
They do. We have 2 shifts per day, one at 8 and one at 12:30. And so for each shift, when you show up, you will be instructed on the specific task that you'll be completing for that day. So you're not going to be expected to have any skills, no knowledge of tools, no knowledge of home building, no ability to read a blueprint or anything like that. You just come, and let's say the task for the day is siding. So they're going to teach you how to do the siding, where to put the nails, how to, hold it up, how to make sure it's level, and that's what you would work on for that day. If you were to come back the next week, maybe you'd be doing flooring. So same thing, they'll teach you how to do the flooring, and they have team leaders who are there to answer your questions and make sure that everything is done safely and up to code.
And you mentioned when you were talking about the sweat equity hours that the people will put in, and you mentioned the Restore. Tell us a little bit about the Restore, both from the standpoint that you're looking for items, but this is a place that I can go and shop.
So the Restore is basically a thrift store. We take gently used furniture items. We also accept construction materials, appliances, things of that nature. We have a truck that provides a free pickup service, and we sell those items a little bit different than a typical thrift store. We sell those items to raise money to build more houses. And
that's what it's all about in the end. We're talking about Habitat for Humanity, and we are with the Executive Director of the Charleston Habitat for Humanity today on Lowcountry Forever. I'm Brian Cleary. Lynn Bowley joins us. Lynn, you've got someone who, like President Jimmy Carter, I think a lot of people associate President Carter with Habitat for Humanity, which I think has to be an amazing thing. What about in our community? Can you talk about some of the businesses and tell us about some of the partners that you have that help out the Charleston Habitat for Humanity?
Oh my gosh, the list is so long, and we are so grateful, because without the support of our sponsors and our donors, we wouldn't be able to do it. The way we do what we do is very unique, because we have a home building program. We have our Restore generating income. We have volunteers coming and lending their skills. And then we have our sponsors and our donors who are supporting us every step of the way. It's truly amazing to see the generosity of our community and to be able to be a part of transforming a family's life.
And not everyone has had the opportunity to be a part of something like this, and maybe you can describe what it's like because you've been there when this new homeowner and their family get to walk through or given the keys and get their new home, their new place where they're going to live, create memories and all that. You've had some special people over the years, I'm sure, going into those houses. What's that like when you're actually able to go, this is your home?
You know, there is just nothing like it, Brian. I can tell you that it is particularly the children that get to me, you know, the kids who are so excited because they can have a birthday party in their backyard with a sprinkler, something that, you know, you wouldn't think would be such a huge deal, but honestly, it's magical for them. Having their own bedroom, having their own lamp in their bedroom, something that they've never had before. And when you look at those parent spaces, at the pride and the investment that they have made to be able to give that to their children, something that no one has given them before, it really is a transformational experience. I can't describe enough how big a change a home, a stable, safe, affordable home makes for these families.
And over the last couple of years, I even hate to say the word, but I have to, we've been challenged with COVID-19 and the pandemic. How has that affected Habitat? And are we now, in terms of at least your organization, do you think we're past the pandemic challenges?
So I don't think we're quite past the pandemic challenges yet. They really hit organizations, nonprofit organizations hard, especially organizations that rely on volunteers to fuel their mission because no one was volunteering, no one was leaving their homes. So we were sort of on a skeleton crew, which just, you know, extended out the time frame. And then everyone has heard about the increasing cost of construction materials, and those are things that we can't pass on to our homeowners. So we've had to be very creative with our fundraising and with our strategies to continue to build and, you know, make this change for families that are so deserving in our community.
So it makes it even more important for us to make certain that this year's Oyster Roast sells out. So, Lynn, why don't you run through the details again? Maybe somebody's just joining us. October 23rd, there is one place to be.
October 23rd from 1 to 5, you should be at Founders Hall at Charlestown Landing. It's a beautiful outdoor space. There's also indoor space. We have all-you-can-eat oysters, and we have all-you-can-eat barbecue and sides. We have beer trucks. We have sodas. We have live music. It's a family-friendly event, so there's a kids zone with sort of the large-scale games like ring toss and ladder ball and those kind of things. And we're very fortunate this year to have two Pearl sponsors, Graystar and FlexPoint Bookkeeping, who gave us that initial push to make things happen this year.
And the event, family-friendly, all the proceeds, of course, go to benefit Charleston Habitat for Humanity. If someone wants to grab tickets, and they should, what's the steps they need to take to get those?
They can go to our website, which is charlestonhabitat.org. You'll see on the events tab, there's a click it to buy a ticket. And you definitely want to get those tickets in advance. They're $60. They're $70 at the door if we have any left. We did almost sell out last year. I think we had 3 tickets left. This year, our ticket sales are doing pretty well, so you definitely want to get those tickets in advance.
And by coming out, enjoying some great food and having a good time with your family, you're helping a pretty amazing organization.
We are a nonprofit organization raising funds to build homes for families who earn between 35 and 60% of the area median income, and we do it with big smiles on our faces. So come out and join us at the 4th annual Oyster Roast for Charleston Habitat for Humanity.
It's definitely the place to be next weekend. Help the Charleston Habitat for Humanity by being a part of the Big Oyster Roast. If you missed any of that information, you can get it online. Just go to the events tab at the radio station that you're listening to this morning. The Charleston Radio Group, a proud supporter of Habitat for Humanity. Lynn Bowley, the Executive Director of Habitat for Humanity, and our guest today on Lowcountry Forever.
Join the movement to end breast cancer. Support the American Cancer Society's Making Strides Against Breast Cancer event, Sunday, October 30th at North Charleston's Riverfront Park. You'll be helping save lives through groundbreaking research discovery. Plus, you'll assist in providing patients, families, and caregivers with access to a 24/7 helpline for answers and support. Help those dealing with cancer when and where it's needed most. Join the movement today at makingstrideswalk.org/Charleston SC.
Thanks for listening to Lowcountry Forever. If you missed any of this week's show, there's a complete recording under the podcast link at lowcountryforever.com. Lowcountry Forever is a public affairs presentation of the Charleston Radio Group.